on, which gave us a thought that potentially someone had been wounded. So right now, though, we don't have that verified, but certainly have it on hand and have it at the ready, because right now, like I was saying, it's a standoff between authorities and the suspect, who potentially could be hiding in a boat.
And we know what the suspect is capable of in terms of bombs. We know that they have a robot that's going into this boat on the trailer to check it out in the backyard, just to make sure there are no explosives. We know today they found a pressure cooker bomb, as well as some other pipe bombs in the street near Cambridge, near their home in Cambridge. And so they are being as cautious and careful as they possibly can to keep the neighbors in this residential area safe.
It's been a long wait, obviously, for a lot of people in Boston. They've been on edge for quite a while, and we're going to get more now from the scene. Fox 25's Jared Holbert. Jared?
Well, we're still here on scene. The helicopters are flying overhead here. A lot of activity out there. We haven't seen the ambulance move yet. It has been stationary since it got there. It's a very quiet crowd right now. Everybody's wondering what's going on. I'm back with our friend.
He was in that boat right there.
Came here on scene, and he was right there running right ahead of us towards the activity. And Paul, what did you
I'm not there.
Well,
I'm not in Boston. I don't know. I'm going by what this media gives us.
And I said, something's going on here with Sister Chanel. And as they went by, you can hear rapid gunfire over and over. Boom, 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 boom. And then I said, I was talking to my friend, I said, this is going down right now. This is happening right now. I was pretty sure of it. I didn't know what was going on. I said, somebody's being shot at. And we just kept following the SWAT team. The SWAT team took a left on Franklin, and we followed behind it, but we couldn't go on Franklin. So we slowed down.
Sorry for the shaking, y'all. I'm itching.
Dispersed right out in front of the house, or right out in front. I didn't see anybody going back. My understanding was that he was in a boat. And I don't know how the shots were fired, but you could just tell something big was happening, something really big, and then all of a sudden, cars came from everywhere.
They are saying that one of the suspects is likely one of the suspects here in this whole thing is down. And so what is your thought on all this as it's starting to sink in?
It's a feeling of relief because, I'm a Watertown resident, and most of the day I was cooped up, but I did leave the house to get out of here, and I went up to Plum Island, and all of a sudden I come back, and just because they lifted the ban, I decided, well, we'll take a ride to see if we can get close to Dexter Avenue. And that wasn't possible, and then we took a ride, and we just still, whatever it is, we were right there when all of a sudden, pow, 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 all the gunshots
All right, Jared, can you hold on 1 second, please? Jared?
Thank you very much.
Jared, thank you. Jared, I'm going to just tell you to stay on hold. We have to understand that the suspect is in the boat. He is indeed in the boat. And again, look at the trailer back here at 67 Franklin Street. Apparently, he is in the boat and refusing to come out. He is surrounded by law enforcement in the backyard. It's 67
He'll die in that boat.
In Watertown. He is in there. He is alive. But he's refusing to come out, so there's a negotiation period.
He's bleeding.
Right now. This is a standoff.
He'll die in the boat.
For the suspect, that police, we appear to be thinking that this would obviously be suspect number 2. We can't confirm that as yet, but the fact
if he's shot up and bleeding, he's just waiting to bleed out.
Is alive and is refusing to come out. Let's hear the audio of the gunshots now. Again,
audio of the gunshots
right now for.
Holy. God be with all these folks here there in Boston, or Watertown, and
Holy. Was the sound of 20 to 30 gunshots fired just moments ago. We are told suspect number 2 may be holding.
Listening to live coverage from WFXT Fox for Boston and the surrounding area, New England's Fox station. And we have on the line with us now Mary Sullivan, who is a resident of Watertown, lives just a few blocks away from the spot where this police activity is ongoing.
What's up, Mary?
Mary, thanks for joining us. It's my understanding
Talk to me,
outside,
baby.
and you heard all of this. Is that right?
Yes. Yes, we had listened to the governor, and the ban was lifted, so 4 of us went out. We were walking the dog. We were coming down Russell Ave, and we were just almost at the corner across from Franklin Street, and we just heard this rapid gunfire that sounded like fireworks. And
I know you can't read it. If come in focus.
You know, hid behind a car, and
maybe
we stayed there, and we turned to the iPhone, and we just started filming, and just all the police came in and knew that something was happening, you know, and I guess we just really didn't expect it, considering the lift just happened, and it's just about 3 blocks away from my home.
Mary, stay with us. For viewers who are just joining us on the Fox Broadcast Network or my stations across the nation, there had been a news conference that happened here in Boston in the 6:30 half hour Eastern time. Right. Where they came forward to tell us basically we haven't gotten very far. We're making progress, but we don't have a second suspect. They lifted the order which required people to shelter in place, and I guess you had been sheltering in place all day, right?
Yes, we stayed in all day. Yeah, we stayed in all day.
And then they lifted the ban. Finally, the dog can go out for a walk, and you heard all of this.
And then we walked up, and it's a street that it's the circle of streets that I take my dog with, and we were just ready to come to the end of Russell and cross over, and we just heard like this popping kind of like firework, popcorn fire, and then all of a sudden it was just you know, inundated with police and you know, these sheltered trucks, black trucks, and the DEA and everything. I mean, and then just literally there are just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people here right now.
Fox for Boston is now reporting that the suspect is in that boat in the backyard at 57 Franklin Street in Watertown. They took the tarp off the boat, that the man is still inside the boat and refusing to come out. Was he shot in this barrage of gunfire? We don't know. Does he still have a weapon? Does he still have ammunition? Again, we have no way of noting. Police, we're told, have surrounded this boat, and it is the belief of all involved that this is the suspect, the second suspect, in the Boston Marathon bombing that happened a Monday afternoon just before 3 o'clock. So now yet another standoff. After an absolutely incredible night, overnight in Watertown, when these 2 suspects were reportedly in a stolen or carjacked car, as police are chasing them and a gunfight is ongoing. The older of these 2 brothers, it's our understanding, is said to have thrown one of these pressure cooker bombs out of the vehicle and toward police, but instead of it remaining the lid locked solid, that lid came off before it was able to explode, so it did less damage than it otherwise would have. And it's further our understanding that there was a large number of police officers around this area, and had that bomb worked properly, this story would have taken itself to an entirely new level. Thankfully, in this case, that didn't work. We're told they had improvised grenades as well, hurling those from the vehicle. Eventually, the standoff ended. The car came to a stop. The number 1 suspect, the older of the 2 brothers, died in what we are led to believe was a shootout with police, and this younger suspect took off on foot. It's the dark of night. The Watertown police will tell you, and they did to the world today, we just didn't have enough manpower to lock down this neighborhood. Or they didn't think they did, because they went door to door. They tell us every house in Watertown for a 20 square block radius, searched the basements and the attics, and anybody who knows anything about Watertown knows every front porch has an area underneath it, and there are plenty of places to hide the way construction is done in Watertown, but they searched it all and couldn't find anything. They searched this boat in the back of this home at 57 Franklin Street as well, and found that there was nothing there. But the woman who lives in that house, according to the most recent reports, called up the police and goes, "Hey, you searched here, but it looks different now. There's a door to the shed open." She went out and looked. There were bloody clothes inside the shed, she reported to police, and there was blood on the floor. So police came back, and it's our understanding that they searched the area. There's some reports now that they may have actually found the guy inside this boat with the tarp over it by using images from a helicopter, but we don't know that. A local radio station is reporting that. At any rate, we're pretty comfortable at this point with the reporting of WFXT Fox 25 in Boston that they have this boat surrounded. The guy's inside it. Is he bleeding? We don't know. But he's not willing to come out, at least for this moment. We have correspondents and crews on scene in WFXT Fox 25 live coverage now. to you across the nation.
But at this point, but the bottom line is they want to get him, as you said, they want to take him alive.
It is a very tense situation right now outside 67 Franklin Street, where there is a standoff with suspect number 2 hiding in that boat. We don't know how long he has been in that boat, if it's been all day since this morning when he escaped the gunfight. We don't know if he's injured in that boat, but we do know he is alive. He is surrounded by a number of authorities, but he does not want to come out.
No, well, it's cold.
You don't like us?
It's cold, man.
Oh, you don't like us or something?
Yeah,
Where's my hats, man?
I'm trying
we're in
to.
a parking lot, but we
I'm sorry, you can't hear you, and we do want to update people on the latest. We understand now, sources telling us that the robot is indeed headed into that area where the boat is right now. So again, the SWAT team was pulled back. The individual knows they are surrounded, and now they're sending in a bomb robot to look around and see the images. I understand they have a camera on there. They can see what, take a look around, obviously, without putting a human life in harm's way.
And this is so important, Mark, because we know that this suspect liked bombs. We know the pressure cooker bombs that were used in the Boston Marathon. We know a pressure cooker bomb was found today in Cambridge. We know pipe bombs were found today in Cambridge. And we know that pipe bombs were found on Commonwealth Avenue in Boston as well. And so this is a very serious and delicate situation. They want to bring this robot in to the boat to make sure there are no explosives. They want to keep this suspect number 2 alive. He has important information that authorities need as they continue to seek.
And obviously, to that end, they don't want to do anything.
They are
with this.
I know where they're at. I know where they're at.
He's in a dire situation at this point. He's totally surrounded. As Bob Ward said, his sources tell him this guy has absolutely no place to go at this point. You think about the dragnet they cast so wide, all the communities around Boston.
They got him pinned in that boat right there.
The Watertown area, cities and towns locked down all day. Now it comes down to this: a backyard, 67 Franklin Street in Watertown, a boat. Inside the boat, the suspect.
And it is possible, Mark, that this suspect number 2, is injured from this morning's gun battle. During that gun battle, there were some 200 shots fired. His brother died during that gun battle, so it's very possible that he too has an injury, and they do want to keep him alive. But again, this is at 67 Franklin Street, if you're just joining us, in Watertown, where suspect number 2 from the Boston Marathon bombing is apparently in that boat that you see right there with the tarp under him. He has been hiding there. We don't know how long he has been hiding there for.
If that's a live shot from Google, live or
area are on edge.
You can see in front of the house right there on the left as nightfall falls here. You can see the bomb-sniffing dogs are in the area as well. They've started to take some of the canine units out. I'm not sure if they're walking this way or the other way, but they are out of their vehicles and on the streets of Watertown right now. 7:49 in the evening. Again, the suspect considered inside this boat, according to sources. Also, those sources say a SWAT team that had that boat surrounded and say that the victim, or should I say, excuse me, the suspect is still alive. That they have been told to pull back to allow a robot to go in there and take a look around and see.
Let's see the robot, man. Come on.
Determine whether or not any explosives may be there as well, either around him, in his hands, or potentially on his person. It could be on his body anywhere. His brother was found to have an IED on himself this morning when they identified him later after he passed away at Brigham and Women's Beth Israel Hospital, I should say. So this has been a very long several days here in Boston, although there haven't been many of them, but they've been very long days when you think about the mental duress people have been going through in this community and all around. Let's go to some video now, I understand. Viewer video coming in, and we're going to take this. This is viewer video from the scene. We'll put that on the air here. Just
all right.
There you go. Oh, my God. All right, let's go straight out to Bob Ward. Bob, what do you have?
Hey, we had a situation out here in Watertown, Mark. Just moments ago, we heard a series of London area where we believe suspect number 2 is pulled up. We just heard 2 or 3 blasts, then a pause, then 2 or 3 more. I'm looking at police. They don't seem to be moving very quickly. You understand? There's another one. Heard another one. Another one. I'm going to hold up the phone, see if you can hear anything.
Gunshots. Shots fired.
Bob, we can't hear that. Are you saying you're hearing 2 or 3 blasts?
Again, new shooting happening now. The reporter Bob Ward from WFXT reporting live. Listen.
I didn't count them, but that sounded about right. There were 3 series of explosions with pauses in between, and there's 2 more just now. 2 more. Up to 8 explosions.
I heard him.
Watertown, but we believe suspect number 2 is holed up.
They have now executed him.
As closely I can, it's starting to get dark. There's no light on the area. It's very dark in the area where these explosions are coming from. And also hearing a chopper overhead, so it's difficult to hear now. But we've heard about 8, I would say 8 to 10 explosions in total.
Just for the viewers at home, Bob, to know that what we're experiencing here, we're watching this right here unfold at 67 Franklin Street. We're trying to listen as well, so if you hear us drop off, we're trying to listen as well. You have heard the blasts as many as 8, you're saying?
Yeah, 2 more just now.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can see the flash as well.
Oh, they light him up.
Right now, Mark.
Bob, is there a helicopter overhead at this point?
Say it again?
Is there a helicopter
Gotta be,
overhead
or
at
a
this
chopper.
point?
Yes, State Police helicopter is almost directly above the location where these explosions are happening. And we understand that the SWAT team was sending in some kind of a robotic device to that area. There's no warning that they were going to try to render anything safe. There's been no warning they're going to try to detonate explosives that they found. What we know is that we've heard about 10 explosions out here in the area where suspect number 2 has to be tracked.
And they seem to be coming from the backyard of that home at 67 Franklin Street.
Sarah, I can't tell from where it is, but it is from the section where the police area and where we hope the suspect number 2 is surrounded.
Again, the suspect completely surrounded, and now late word that there are as many as 8 to 10 blasts that Ward says he's heard. He just heard 2 more. We're seeing flashes of light in addition to the strobe lights coming from the vehicles.
Surely,
we have seen a couple
that
of light
man
flashes.
in
Not
that
sure if those are
boat.
related, but Bob did say, in fact, there's been 8
He's
to
got
10
ammunition.
explosions that he has heard. And this all
surely,
happened in the backyard of 67 Franklin
if
Street.
he is shooting,
The suspect
I
was
don't
holed up in this boat. You see on the white picture here with an arrow with a tarp on it that he hid in there. SWAT team surrounded him, said he was still alive, that they had him surrounded, there was no place for him to go, and then the SWAT team pulled off to allow a robotic device to go in and take a look around, because they are very concerned about the fact that there could be explosives there as well. So once that robotic device went in, we understand that potentially that is when we started to hear some of the explosions.
That's right. And Bob Ward said he heard some 8 to 10 explosions in that area, possibly coming from the backyard where that suspect is holed up in the boat that you see right there. It is nightfall right now, and it's amazing how this story has changed in a matter of seconds, Mark.
It certainly is. And this was an all-day presence for the police in Watertown all night. They'd been there from the time that the car chase ended up into Watertown, and then, of course, we had the shootout, a firefight last night with police, resulting in suspect number 1's demise, as it turned out, as he was gunned down. But then we also had the foot chase that ensued for this individual here, it appears, and this would be suspect number 2. And throughout the day, Watertown was in lockdown, as were all the communities around it, as was the city of Boston.
We're listening to WFXT Fox for Boston and its live coverage of developing story in Watertown. It's our belief that the suspect there in the Boston Marathon bombing was underneath this boat tarp, and now there are reports of all of these explosions. And the explosions, though they're being reported as the local reporter as a series of explosions, it's possible that when they sent this robot in to do the exploration of the area, take a look at videos and the rest, that they could have set off a flashbang in there.